Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 290. And let me just say that it's really going down as Rin has awakened some new sort of aura, and Bastard Munchen really had to do everything in their power to try and stop this new wild monster version of Rin. But I don't want to say any more, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, please leave a like and a comment as well as join the Discord server. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So for chapter 290, also called Blue Bad Boy, we start off with the ball still soaring through the sky from Rin's interception in the last chapter. We see Nanas in just pure shock saying Rin's name. Under him we have Karasu, who is basically speaking nonsense at this point, but he's saying that all of the extraordinary players like Rin are getting him excited. Shido is grinning left to right as he says that this is a red-hot counter, and then we see the ball falling towards Charles, who looks up with a manic expression while saying that this is PXG's grand finale and tells them to go as he sends away the ball high up on the field. We then see Isagi, who looks mildly annoyed while thinking that Rin's play was totally unexpected, and he can't even begin to understand how Rin managed to stop them, as he and Kaiser had just improvised that chemical reaction, so how was it possible for Rin to see through it? Out of nowhere, however, Rin appears right on Isagi's side, kind of scaring him. Rin has lightning coming off his eyes as he says that he is sticking 4 meters to Isagi, explaining that he has already pounded all of Isagi's specs and physical abilities into his brain, and given his capabilities and Isagi's individual skills, Rin knows that he can effortlessly stop Isagi reflexively if he can stay within a radius of 4 meters. We also see what looks like some sort of bubble form around them, indicating the 4-meter radius. Rin keeps on going and explains that he was waiting for the moment to use that to split up Isagi and Kaiser. He then starts to look like a demon as he gets his tongue out and says that he waited for the fiery moment when the two of them would try to connect again. Isagi is staring at Rin, looking extremely pissed off, while in his head thinking that Rin is insane. He looks over and sees Tokimitsu and Nanas passing around the ball and starts to wonder what to do. His meta-vision eyes get active, and he says that if Rin is sticking close to him, then he should maybe try and move away. However, he realizes that it's not possible either, because if he tries to force himself away, then he will have less freedom, and his coordination with Kaiser will suffer even more because of it. We then see that Isagi's puzzle pieces are starting to dissolve and disappear, while he says that if it were to happen, then the new bastard Munchen would be obliterated. Then saying that here at the 11th hour, Rin has found a new motivation and is trying to change. Because of that, he snaps back into reality and says that he can't back down either, and with that realization, he goes into his god mode and tries to push himself even further as he is determined to win over Rin within this 4-meter space. Rin is looking over at Isagi and thinking that this is just what he wants. We see an eye starting to appear as Rin says that Isagi's thoughts, his freedom, dreams, mind, and all that's precious to him, Rin wants to destroy all of it. And this is the panel I was talking about in my leak video. Just look at how insane it looks, like it's a whole hand with an eye in the middle staring down both Rin and Isagi. Rin's new aura is really something in its own kind. Anyway, skipping away from it, we see Nanas battling with Kiora while screaming to the PXG players that they have to win no matter what, and to continue passing even if it kills them. The ball goes to Karasu, who's in a battle of his own against Raichi, but he quickly sends it away to Zantetsu, calling him an overworked 4-eye. And that's kinda true, as Zantetsu has really put in a shift in this game. But then, as he gets the pass, he starts to spout out nonsense as he says lactic acid linear motorcar dash, which I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but sure. Bastard Munchen starts to panic, as Raichi says that they can't seem to stop PXG's attack, and Hiyori says that they are already past the midfield. After that, it only gets more intense as the ball falls over to Charles, who actually traps it beautifully. He gets a smirk as he says, "Right there, lickety Rin," which I'm not even going to comment on. Anyway, he sees Rin and Isagi sprinting alongside each other and decides to send away a one-shot killer pass towards them, which has an insane curve to it. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? However, to their surprise, the ball doesn't go to Rin, but instead to Shido, who has his wings out as he flies up into the sky and gets the ball. Shido says something in French, which gets translated to "I love you, contrarian," and I feel like Shido just wants to catch a case at this point. Anyway, before him comes Kiora, who says not yet while still sliding, but it wasn't just Kiora, as suddenly Kunigami comes bashing into Shido's body. He tells Shido to just try and shoot and calls him a vermin. Shido starts to smirk as he calls this a hot surprise, but to their own surprise, he says that he is a contrarian too, and actually passes away the ball. Both Kiora and Kunigami can't understand their eyes, as Shido sent away the pass to none other than the monster Rin. Rin gets the ball, but it's everything from easy, as both he and Isagi are almost falling over while battling each other. Rin looks completely insane as he says it's time for their last battle. Isagi is in his own head and thinks that they are still over 35 meters from the goal and that it's still just too far for him to shoot. But if he makes it just a bit further, he'll be in range, which would mean that one wrong move would mean their death. Suddenly, Shido comes from the side and asks for a pass, and he must be delusional, thinking that Rin would give back the pass. And Isagi is also aware of that, as he thinks that what Rin wants is to make the last shot while crashing into Isagi. They look at each other, and Isagi's pieces are slowly dissolving as he says that he's been a disposable pawn over and over again, and he then calls over KAISER, who comes right away from the side. There's a highlighted spot on the ground, and KAISER asks Rin if that's his crash shot point. He looks completely obsessed with stopping Rin, as he declares that he is butting the hell in. Isagi, who is looking at this, just says that KAISER is the best, but this is where everything changes, as out of nowhere Rin calls it tepid, and says that he's been waiting for that fire, which shocks KAISER. But right here we also see Rin's new hand aura appearing around him, and Isagi and KAISER are just speechless, wondering what Rin is going to do. But then it clicks for Isagi, as he says that Rin had already read their coordination, and that it wasn't Isagi who he wanted to crash into, but instead KAISER, which we see here as Rin pushes his whole body into KAISER's and collides with each other. While having his hand completely around the two of them, almost consuming them, as Rin is bashing into KAISER, he says Isagi's name, and that destroying his ultimate fire is Rin's ultimate pleasure. However, while we see KAISER almost being turned upside down, we see some sort of rose starting to appear, and we hear KAISER apologizing, but not to Isagi, but instead to Rin, as he has grabbed hold of Rin's shoulder and says that when it comes to physical contact, he's been taking the special course since he was a kid. Rin looks back and is in total awe by this as he realizes that KAISER is going to make a mid-air rotation. KAISER's face gets filled with a shadow as he says that he is a piece of shit and that he has had a way worse upbringing than those humans. And as he says that, he gets somewhat down to the ground and shoots away the ball from Rin and into his hand aura and completely destroys it. Isagi is ecstatic as he watches from the side and asks KAISER if he is some sort of god before calling him a superstar. Now luckily there's no break next week, so we will just have to hold out 1 week to get to know what's happening next in this wild match. Even though it's been dragged quite a bit, you can't say that it isn't exciting because I can confidently say that I was jumping up and down in my seat when KAISER appeared and kicked away the ball. Anyway, the next chapter will be called Faster, and in my leaks video, I speculated that it would be about Zantetsu maybe getting a power-up, but that would be kind of weird, as Bastard Munchen is on their counterattack. So when looking through the comments, I saw a lot of people saying that it could be about the KAISER impact, as it's the fastest shot in the world, which would mean that KAISER might be getting a shot in the next chapter, but we will just have to wait and see. Now let's go over this insanity of a chapter, and let's start all the way from the beginning. Now Rin entering Isagi's 4-meter radius was extremely dope, and gave him so much aura, as he basically said that he was a better version of Isagi, and could beat him effortlessly in this radius, which I can't really argue with, as Rin has better stats, and would probably destroy Isagi that close up. I know that I've talked about this particular panel again and again, but it's purely because it looks so incredibly insane. Just having Rin's rage aura randomly transform into a hand and then an eye in the middle is insane. And I don't even know what it's supposed to symbolize. Also, not really on the topic of it, but I have no idea what it is that Zantetsu is going on about right now. But I think that the blood is starting to get to his brain and that he isn't thinking straight right now. Also kinda dope how Charles just tricked everyone by saying that the ball was to Rin, when in reality, he sent it to the demon Shido, who I was really surprised by his decision to pass to Rin, but maybe he's turned a new leaf or something because Shido passing is kinda wild. Now we finally get to the showdown of the chapter between Rin and KAISER, and it was mind-blowing how Rin firstly played them both by pretending to try to collide with Isagi, when in reality, he was aiming for KAISER. But then KAISER shut him down by showing us why he's considered a new Gen 11, by pulling out some karate moves and sliding on Rin's back to get down to the ground and shoot away the ball, giving Bastard Munchen a chance to counter. And his shot in the end was just so dope as it completely destroyed Rin's new aura. And I just liked seeing Isagi being KAISER's own little hype man on the side and complimenting KAISER's insane plays. But to end it all, I want to know what you think the next chapter titled Faster could be about. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.